Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Miscellaneous, and I'm back at it again with another video. As always, timestamps are down in the description box below if you want to get directly into the review. Real quick before I talk about the AEW stuff, because I know some of you guys are pretty curious as to what my opinion is in regards to the ratings, or maybe you're not, and otherwise I don't give a fuck, because you should love me just like I love you. I mean, I didn't do that to you when I had to put you through grade school, when I fed you, when I clothed you, when I hugged you, when I made love to your mother and you walked in and you asked me why am I slapping her ass. I got that off of Twitter earlier today. It was a funny video. You should go probably check that out. You have no clue what I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck. I'm being random right now. So, check it out. Coming up this Tuesday, what is it? Monday? No, Monday, right? My bad. Fuck. This is what happens when you get drunk all day. Monday, I know we have like the whole January 6th thing going on with Netflix and Raw. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I tried my best to like kind of like, hey, if I finish the truck early, is it cool if I can go home? Devontae, now you know it's Monday and you know it's the truck. Is it an emergency? Why, yes, my kind sir, I have to review a wrestling show for practically no money to my millions upon millions of non-existing fans. Oh, well, golly gee willikers, Devontae, go ahead and go do that. No, see, that's not how the real world works. Unfortunately, I can't get out of this shit. I have to do my truck on Monday, and then the next day I have to turn around, and as always, I work all day on Tuesdays. Couldn't get out of it, so damns the breaks. Hopefully I can make up for it this weekend with some classic uploads and regarding the news, and hopefully tonight's show kicks a lot of ass so I have something to kind of redeem myself. Otherwise, unfortunately, grown up stuff, big dick things, you know, damns the breaks, right? But if something does pop off on the show, I will be talking about it, you know, when I get home, as I typically do when it comes to Monday Night Raw. So hopefully something pops off and something is the bee's knees and it makes my dick even harder than what it is right now. Don't ask why. But with that being said, let's talk about Dynamite real quick. Hopefully, oh, you know what? I'm gonna actually prep myself up for this because I actually don't know the ratings. I'm getting this off of PW Torch. I'm gonna slowly scroll down here. Wait, let me guess. I'm gonna take a bit of a guess. Hang on. I'm gonna take a guess. So I know they're not gonna have 700,000. Well, maybe. Well, I don't think that's going to be the case because they haven't hit 100,000 or 700,000, although they're not too far for 100,000. They're closer. Think about this for a second. They're closer to 100,000 than they ever were their actual fucking peak since 2022. Think about that for a second, as far as the weekend to week out basis, or maybe not. Maybe I'm just fucking lying. Or am I lying? Well, but I'm gonna take a guess anyways though. I think their viewership number that they got on Wednesday, it was the fight for the fallen, fight for my balls down your throat. I'm gonna say it was 610,000, between 610,000 to 630,000. That's my guess. So let's see. We're gonna scroll down. Drum roll, please. Your mom's taking it. That's my drum roll. They got 588,000 viewers. Wah, wah, wah. Damn, bro, this show dead as fuck. God diggity damn. Damn, there's no saving this show then. I would have thought they would have. Wow, that's actually surprising. I would have thought they would have done a hell of a lot better, just considering everything that circulated around the show. Not to mention, it's the first show of the new year. You would think people would want to watch it. I mean, what's going to be the excuse now? Well, I mean, everybody was off work and, you know, when you're off work, you typically do things around the house. Like you wash your windows, you boil water, you beat your children. I mean, who has time to watch Dynamite when there's so many things to do, right, Meltzer? I should go check out what the fuck he's saying right now, but I don't want this going any longer than it's already going right now in regards to the intro. So we're just going to keep it at that. But if Meltzer does have any unique excuses, drop it down in the comment section below so I can, read it and, joke around with you, bro, because we're homies. Like I say, bro, as always, bring in the homie love. Bring in some of that homeboy love, bro. I love y'all niggas, bro. Y'all the homies for life. Damn, I love y'all, bro. Damn, I love y'all. Bro, I got that thug in love. Let's get it. But with that being said, no more joking, no more playing. As in, we're going to joke and play some more as we talk about Smackdown, if it's worth joking and playing around with. Okay, let's get into it, folks. First episode, first WWE episode, first Smackdown of the new year. Hopefully it kills it, or it doesn't, and I, kill the show. Let's go. Okay, not a bad way to set off the show. Hopefully this is a premise that happens throughout the night, because I completely forgot. I'm going into this bitch, think I'm going to review Smackdown. Yo, no joke. I completely forgot this episode was 3 hours. I completely forgot Smackdown was going to 3 hours. I went into this shit thinking this is going to be a normal episode of Smackdown. Okay. I'm not willing to judge a book by its cover. This was not in my agenda for tonight. Okay, I was planning on doing something at 10. Okay, that's okay. That's fine, because Smackdown, hopefully it kills it tonight. It gives me a reason as to why I should not skibbity myself in Minecraft for not recognizing that this is going to be 3 hours. Just to let you know how out of the loop I fucking am right now. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we kicked off the night with Cody Rhodes coming out. He's talking about his neck. He's promoting the ladder match at the Royal Rumble coming up on February 1st. By the way, I will be reviewing that show, which you already know because I'm fucking Devontae and I'm fucking awesome. But that's neither here nor there. It's definitely there, though. While he was talking, out came Drew McIntyre. Obviously, they have this opening window as far as the transfer period. It's a stupid gimmick that just pretty much waives everything in regards to the brand extension, and I wish they would just get rid of it if they're just not gonna abide by the rules. But once again, that's okay, right? Because Drew McIntyre, one of my favorite wrestlers going strong today, arguably my favorite wrestler going strong today, right? He comes out and he has like this pseudo faux empathy for Cody Rhodes. It's like, hey Cody, we go back, brother, okay? We both left WWE to make a name for ourselves, and we came back and we scratched and recrawled. Technically Cody said that, but let's just pretend Drew said that, because I fucked up saying Drew said that when in reality Cody said that, right? Something else they didn't reference also is the fact that they're tag team champions, but that's neither here nor there. I said that twice already. It's definitely there though. But as he's talking, Drew McIntyre Cody Rhodes interrupts him to say the thing that I fucked up saying Drew McIntyre said, and then Drew McIntyre remarked back at the fact that because Cody was like, you know what, cut the bullshit, Drew. You want to hurt me. You want to throw blows. You want to throw hands. You want to play penis swords. And Drew's like, nah, brother, I am genuinely out here to watch your back. Okay, you're in the greatest generation of all time of wrestlers. Okay, we're better than the 80s. We're better than the new generation era. We're better than the Attitude Era, which is all your subjective opinion. But then you went a little bit too far and you started bringing in metrics and all this. And I gotta say to that, but no way, because you're full of shit, Drew. Okay, no. Metric-wise, your numbers are nowhere near better than the Attitude Era. As far as television numbers, you get demolished like 5 times over when you look at the current ratings right now. As a matter of fact, all numbers combined from any show probably wouldn't equal a Sunday Night Heat, let alone you actually competing with the Attitude Era, and people are going to be like, well, Devontae, look at the social media numbers. Big head ass nigga. No, what social media numbers? What are you? Last time I checked, the thing that I'm talking on right now, my microphone that I have to upload on my cell phone that I typically link to my laptop, none of this, more in particular that cell phone part that you're gonna talk about social media and all that shit didn't exist in 1990 motherfucking 8, crackhead. So how the fuck you gonna sit here and be like, well, Devontae, look at the metrics and compare the social media numbers? And if social media existed in 1998, bruh, this will be well beyond over fucking kill. What the hell are you talking about? But put that to the side for a second. Now kind of getting lost in the sauce here, right? You had Drew McIntyre, who was leaving the ring, and Cody Rhodes, while being hyped up, saying that he wanted all this stuff to be done. Drew essentially got on the apron, because I like the little the little aesthetic of like Cody turning his back, constantly just turning in the circle, because he doesn't want to turn his back to Drew because he doesn't trust him. I love how he's doing all that, and Drew is standing on the apron, and he's telling Cody, hey, you might want to watch your back. And then Kevin Owens comes in the ring and he attacks Cody Rhodes from behind. They start to fight. A wild Gregory Helms, a wild Jamie Noble, a wild, I think I seen Arya Daivari out there, and I think I seen Kenny Dykstra. When the fuck did Kenny Dykstra start working back with WWE again? I must have missed the memo on that one. But they're all doing the pull apart brawl. You know, it's all good. It's all fine. It's okay, because this is all building up to the Royal Rumble, and I definitely want to see this match. I am hyped to see this match. My only thing that I will say about this, and I've been noticing this as a problem with Cody and Kevin these past couple of weeks. Now, I get the whole, you know, motto of less is more. I get all that. But at the same time, I would like something a little bit more detrimental to happen. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, you got dumb fuck companies like AEW that will take an angle spot that could probably have someone written off television for a couple of months. Go see Randy Orton, for an example, and they will make it a transition spot or a kick out at 2 in order to get their 5.5 star quality match over for Dave Meltzer. But you should probably do more devastating things. You know what I mean? All these punches and kicks in order to end a segment, it is kind of lame. You know what I mean? Like power drivers, I get it. That's cool. Again, AEW ruins spots like that, but you should do a lot more devastating stuff. Now, I'm not saying that should have been the case here, but just overall, like the closing for Smackdown last week with Kevin just kind of like pushing Nick Aldis into Cody Rhodes and then just stepping on his head a couple of times. I get it. They're trying to sell the neck, right? And I get it once again, the whole less is more thing. But you want to do a little bit more devastating stuff. Bring in the chair. You know, you can, whip them, throw them into a barricade at the very least, put some stairs on his neck, do something a little bit more devastating. A couple of punches and a couple of kicks. That's not going to do it if you want to, promote a mean streak to get people wanting to be invested into the Royal Rumble outside of just the words. You know what I mean? I get the words. The words are the most important thing. That's the priority. But also, you kind of want to, spice it up a little bit. Do something a little bit more devastating. I like steak. I like meatloaf. I like my main course meals. That's the most important thing. But also, the sides are important too. The rice, the mashed potatoes, the macaroni. That shit's important too. So that's probably like my only gripe with all this is they might want to kick up the physicality a little bit more. But outside of that, pretty good. I like it. Hopefully they can keep this going throughout the night. That's something else that I would pretty much rather enjoy also, just so we can have something of linear storytelling happening throughout the night, have a main storyline happening throughout the night. They most likely might not do that. I don't know. It seems like a casualty in professional wrestling when it comes to the depth of linear storytelling, but I got my hopes. It's a 3-hour episode of Smackdown, so we'll see as the night progresses, and hopefully we get something a little bit more eventful happening, if you know what I'm saying. But with that being said, we got Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Mr. I jumped over the border right before Trump became president, so I got fucking lucky, and a match that is non-title. So let's get it, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we got Paul Heyman coming out next. Let's get through some of the stuff that's been happening these past couple minutes. So we had a match with Andrade and Shinsuke Nakamura, which I thought was pretty decent. The crowd got into it towards the ending when the guys are hitting their big moves, with Andrade hitting like the fake out moonsault, or like, the the Walmart version of the Judas effect or whatever. I love that move. He does the Judas effect better than Chris Jericho. I never noticed that he sets it up with a big boot before he fakes out with the elbow. I don't know. He's been doing that for like years now, and I just now caught on to that. Silly little me, silly goose, Devontae. You're such a silly goose. Oh my God, you're such a silly goose. But then Pretty Deadly showed up, and then Apollo Crews was there first. I forgot he showed up first, but I don't know, who's blending in with the shadows. What can I say? And I guess they were accusing each other these past week or a couple of weeks or whatever when I was missing Smackdown on whoever attacked the Street Profits a couple of weeks ago. They called him Apollo Stooge, which is kind of funny, but at the same time, that shit lame as fuck, corny ass nigga. But then you had Legado del Fantasma pop up, and they didn't like the fact that Pretty Deadly was accusing them. So they jacked their asses up against the wall, and they said, you blame us for something else again. Okay, you don't understand who we are. Okay, we're loco. Don't you know we're loco? And like, they were like, you know, tussling a little tiny bit before Nick Aldis came inside there, and he was like, stop it guys, stop it, break it up, all right? And then you got Pretty Deadly, and they're just arguing, and he's like, you know what, you guys were gonna talk for a little bit. And then Pretty Deadly's like, but we don't want to do that. And he's like, dude, do you know who I am? I'm British, therefore by default somehow I'm linked to Radiohead. And you did it to yourself, you did, and that's what really hurts. You did it to, sorry. But essentially, he was just telling Pretty Deadly some words I didn't pay attention to before Johnny Gargano walked up and Tommaso Ciampa. Apparently, they have a tag team title match going on later on tonight with the Motor City Machine Guns, which wasn't advertised at all. So I'm happy to know that's going to be on the card. Would have been nice if they would have advertised it though, because you know that's for a tag team title shot. I mean, they were busy telling you that we're going to have non-title match with titles and champions and you know all that. But apparently, tag team title shots are not as important to advertise. But they were pretty much telling them, hey guys, it'd be pretty nice if we left with the tag team championship belts tonight. Pretty much, you know, kind of implying that you guys should probably get involved in that match and, you know, not do a goddamn thing and pretty much be useless like you were for the majority of 2024 and 2023. In 2022. When were they born? They were probably useless around that time too. But then we had this match with Mia Yim and Piper Niven, and the only thing I remember about this whole entire match is the fact that, I don't know, Michin twerked. She called it the long back attack, which is weird because Mia has a little bit of meat on her bones. Okay, Mia, she got a little bit of a boop boop on her. You know, it's not big, it's not juicy, it's not round, it's not oozy, but I fuck with it. I like it. I will still go downtown. Okay, I will pop my head from between her legs, and I would just, you know, I'll have my eyes going as wide as her eyes. Okay, I definitely want to go between Mia Yim's legs. That's just a saying. Okay, but she did win the match against Piper Niven in what was essentially a nothing match, but it's okay. You know, I don't mind that all too much. You know, it's just nothing more than just trying to build up heat for the inevitable match that's going to happen between her and Chelsea Green. But essentially, that's all the miscellaneous stuff that happened. As I said, nothing really crazy. That's fine. That's cool. Not going to do that. That's okay. I did it 3 times already. That's all you're going to get. Maybe later on tonight, because I'm going to probably forget that I said that. We'll see. But coming up next, we got Paul Heyman. He's going to say some words out of his Israel mouth. And hopefully, you know, it'll make sense. And it'll get me hyped up. Okay, maybe it'll have something to do with the beginning of the show. I don't know. Maybe it'll have something to do with the secondary rivalry that's going on right now with the Bloodhounds, the Blood Gang, the Bloodline. There you go. And apparently, who is this? Oh, that's Naomi. All right. She's not showing her ass though, so I don't give a fuck. But like I said, Paul Heyman's about to say some words out of his stupid mouth right now. So let's see what he has to say. Alright, so while the Motor City Machine Guns are going over their little promo building up to the tag team title match between them and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, let's talk about this Paul Heyman promo for a second, because I thought this was a little bit unique. I like it. You know, it's a way to kind of build up a little bit of suspense going into the Netflix episode of Raw this Monday that they remind you every other fucking 5 seconds, which is fine. That's called promoting. AEW can learn something. I know they're going to catch stray bullets even more later on tonight. Trust me, that's just how it goes when you have professionalism versus amateur hour. I'm sorry. Sorry, AEW fans. Truth hurts, okay? Don't want to hear anything about it. Plug your ears. Go down. Suck your own dick. I know you guys typically do that in your own basements. That's fine. Got you, didn't I? But let's revert back to this whole little promo for a second, all right? So Paul Heyman, he gets in the ring, does his whole little shtick, you know, hi everybody, I'm Paul Heyman, you know, I'm Jewish, all this other kind of shit, right? And he makes points about Roman Reigns and how he and Roman throughout WrestleMania, you know, they went through the trials and tribulations of Cody Rhodes, but more importantly, they were trying to train Solo Sikoa. They had been prepping Solo Sikoa to take over Roman Reigns' spot as the tribal chief, and he made it a point. He made it a point to emphasize that this was supposed to be in the future, not today. But after Roman took his eyes off the prize, Seth Rollins, you know, he was so I don't know, like focused on getting revenge against Seth Rollins, and he took his eyes off the prize, took his eye off the ball, and Cody Rhodes capitalized on that mistake, right? And Solo Sikoa also capitalized on that mistake. See, when Roman Reigns was taken out because of the whole Cody Rhodes stuff, Solo Sikoa took it upon himself to just do what he wants. It wasn't the time. It wasn't the future. As Paul Heyman said, Solo decided, hey, Roman's not around. It's time for me to step up to be the tribal chief, which he did. And in the process, he kicked out all the old guards that were around during the original tribal chief run. And he brought in his own gang of hooligans, right? He brought in the Guerrillas of Destiny. He brought in Jacob Fatu. And he made it a point that there's a distinction between us and them. We're winners, they're losers. We're gonna actually get shit done. Now, unfortunately, how Paul Heyman described this, how he made it out to be, how he made it sound, would imply that these guys are actually dangerous and have actually been ruining and running shit, but in reality, WWE, in my opinion, has not did a good enough job as far as booking these guys as credible monsters. Maybe Jacob Fatu to a lesser degree, but overall, I never really got that feeling that this tribe, whatever you want to call them, what this original, the new bloodline, I've never really felt that they themselves were ever a threat to the original tribal chief or the original bloodline run or whatever you want to call it, right? I never really felt that, and this is why I brought up that community post, because I do kind of feel like Solo Sikoa kind of got a little bit too much, a little bit too soon, a little bit too quick, but he's been learning as he's been going. Neither here nor there. I'm not here to talk about that if I say that shit one more fucking time. God damn, bro. Nevertheless, though, Solo Sikoa comes out. He interrupts Paul Heyman, right? I love how when Solo was coming out, you guys catch that little dude in the crowd? He was getting down with his bad self to Solo Sikoa's theme song. I mean, he was, what did the kids say nowadays? He was diddy bopping. He was grooving, guys. He was getting groovy. Yo, he gets in the ring though, right? God damn, that kid had me cracking up though. Real talk. Go back and check out Solo's entrance. You'll see what I mean. The kid in the entrance, in the crowd towards the entrance way. God damn. But Solo gets in the ring, does the whole little acknowledge me stuff, and he tells Paul Heyman, and you know, not too much words, you know, because Solo, he's not what I would call a Roddy Piper on a stick, right? He's not a Jake Roberts, if you will. He's a man of few words, which is fine. That definitely complements his character. He told him coming up in this tribal chief match, or the what do they call that shit? Tribal combat. When I win the match, or more importantly, let me say this first. Let me kind of get this right. When Roman wins the match, because that's what's going to probably happen. Well, actually, I won't even say that. Let me not say that. Let me not cook my eggs before they actually hatch, right? If Roman wins the match, you put the Ula Fala on his neck, and I recognize you as the tribal chief, right? I recognize you. I recognize Roman Reigns as my tribal chief. But if I win, you need to put the Ula Fala on my neck, and both of you are going to acknowledge me, and you're going to be my wise man forever. Which left Paul Heyman a little bit, you know, like shook a little bit, like, oh shit, I'm going to have to go through all this shit again when I grew my little gray beard out, and it looked like I was on a 9-year binge, and I just couldn't stop because my children were taken by their mother, and I can never get them back, and have to pay child support and spousal support, even though she has a Chad as a husband, and she's still gonna milk me for all I have. I've been watching way too many movies lately, but yeah, this is a nice way as to how you should be promoting the match. I get that. I like that. Like I said though, it would be nice if you would have maybe put, and this is just me, if you would have put a little bit more emphasis on Solo Sikoa as far as being a little bit more dominant. Because I can't see Solo just straight up beating Roman Reigns clean as a fucking whistle, right? That's the problem when you go into these scenarios, when you got someone who's such a big star versus someone who's not as big of a star. You kind of get these complications, right? But more importantly, at least to me, when I see all this, it would really help. And I understand, you know, his schedule. I get it. It would really help, especially knowing that this is the go home show, which is kind of weird to say because this is an actual Smackdown and it's supposed to be a premiere episode of Smackdown. It is weird to say that this is the go home show to a Raw episode, but essentially that's what it is. It would be nice if Roman Reigns would have shown up. You know, it would have helped out a lot. Add a lot more. I mean, even if it was just to show up on the Titantron, you know what I mean? Maybe they could have did something pre-recorded before he took his little hiatus again. I don't know. That's just me. That's one of the biggest things about Roman Reigns that has been kind of annoying me as of late, and I know it annoys a lot of people. Yeah, he's a big star, maybe the biggest star in the entire wrestling industry today. Okay, bar none, right? But it does hurt a lot when he's never there. God, this could have really used him. If for nothing else, just to add emphasis to the match in itself. You know, maybe show a little bit more emotional range out of Solo Sikoa promoting this match going into Monday. Like, I get it. I understand. If I was in Roman's position, it's not as if I'd be complaining about coming over to Raw to promote a match when I can just be like, you know, doing my own thing and, you know, relaxing. He has it like that. But for the casual viewing audience, for the viewing audience in general, it would help out a lot more if Roman can show up a little bit more often, especially for something as important as this. Just my 2 cents though. I thought the promo in itself was a decent way to kind of promote the match, but it kind of feels like it was a bit cliche compared to what we've been typically getting for these past couple of months now when dealing with Solo and dealing with Paul Heyman. Again, nothing necessarily terrible, but kind of the same thing as like the opener. Minor details do matter because those minor details, it's not going to make it or break it, but at the same time, it does accentuate it, if you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, go look up the word accentuate. I mean, you probably should have figured this out in 2nd grade, but that's what happens when you drop out of daycare. Don't worry, I blame your mom, not your dad, because he's not around. But with that being said, though, like I said, decent segment, did his job, I guess, whatever. But Motor City Machine Guns, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Tag Team Championship match. Let's watch this and watch the other things happening on the show. I will say this is going by a lot faster than I thought. We're already an hour and a half. We're already technically halfway through the show, so that's pretty good. It's going by pretty fast, so it is what it is. Continuing on. Damn, bro, Jimmy Uso. God damn, you a lucky man. Man, bro, if I was married to Naomi, I'd be giving her the business every goddamn night. She wouldn't even make it to the ring, bro. She'd just be in bed all day. Alright, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about some of this stuff before this whole match with Naomi and Nia Jax happens. So DIY and Motor City Machine Guns, rather decent match before we got the DQ finish, which is fine. I mean, I know they're trying to set up the whole little fatal 4-way tag team match for the tag team championships. I kind of think it's a little bit lazy. You know, I know that DIY and Motor City Machine Guns have their own little storyline going on at the moment, but I kind of hate the whole like, oh, let's have another multi-man match. I feel like every other damn week there's a multi-man match. I don't know. For me, it feels a little bit lazy. You know what I mean? Like, give these guys some storylines in the tag team division, something that they can sink their teeth into, rather than just like, oh, well, we have nothing going on for this team or this team, and, you know, we're paying these guys, so maybe we should do something with them. Let's just throw them in there in the fuck all match, right? I mean, I guess it is what it is. No one really... I mean, I'm not going to say no one gives a shit about them because they all have their own little subsect of fans. I mean, that's the kind of age that we live in currently at the moment, right? Where you go on social media, someone has a following, right? So it's not to say that, oh, they don't have a following, or to dismiss anybody in this match or dismiss anybody in the future match. I just find it a little bit lazy to kind of do the whole little wishy-washy bullshit finish in order to set up for another multi-man match, as if we don't get those enough a week, right? But that's the case. You had Pretty Deadly come out. They distracted the Motor City Machine Guns. It didn't lead to the finish initially before Legado del Fantasma came out. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, they start to fight with Pretty Deadly before they, like, you know, ambushed them, and you know, Angel Garza ended up spearing, I think it was, Elton Prince, I guess, onto the pile of people in the ring, and it calls a DQ finish. And again, I see what they're doing, just seems a little bit lazy. Backstage, we had Sami Zayn. I'm not you guys, I'm not you plebes, I'm not going to refer to him as Sami Uso. I'm going to turn heel on you, fuck you. But they were coming down the corridor, Sami that is, before he was talking to Carmelo Hayes. I guess they had a match last week or something. He was trying to ease him up before the Usos came, and they were like standing on Carmelo Hayes' side, and, you know, they were like, oh, do we have a problem here? And Carmelo will say, nah, we ain't got no problem. Nothing that I can't handle, fellas. Stand back. Let me handle my own lightweight. And then Usos, they stood next to Sami, and they were like, no. Do we have a problem. Before Melo backed off and then they started to talk before the Usos bumped into Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn went to go get his gear. I find that very conspicuous that they're keeping Kevin and Sami apart from each other yet again. I mean, they're doing this multiple times and Kevin has yet to confront Sami as far as his affiliation with Roman Reigns. So, I don't know. I find that timing to be a little bit conspicuous. But essentially, Kevin Owens just warned the Usos that maybe they should watch their back. Very similar to what Drew McIntyre said earlier about Cody Rhodes. Speaking of which, he was coming down a corridor also on the next segment before he was stopped by Nick Aldis, who essentially told him, hey, I know you want to kind of do this thing with Kevin and the ladder match and all this shit, but I kind of need you to be healthy and I kind of need you to stop getting into conflicts because, you know, I did you a favor, you do me a favor. And Cody was like, hey, I get that. I understand. You're a great boss, but I'm the champion and I need to call my shot. And if I see anybody even look like Kevin Owens, I'm going to drop him on sight. Ooh, you're such a badass, Cody. Ooh, you're such a badass with your lisp and calling your shots and all that other kind of fucking cliche shit. I love you, Cody. Ooh, you're so cute with your little dimples when you're so angry. Hopefully that's setting up for something later on tonight. But like I said, bunch of miscellaneous shit, just promoting the flow throughout the show. Coming up next, Naomi, Nia Jax. They had a good match a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully they deliver tonight. All right, that was newsworthy. Okay, I like it. They're going over the whole Solo Sikoa Roman Reigns Tribal Chief match and just showing some vignettes right now, building up to that match for Monday on Netflix for the 18th millionth time. If I didn't tell you the first billionth time beforehand, because, you know, WWE has been telling me for a trillionth time, a gazillion time, a decillion time. Nevertheless, though, look, I'm all good with this. I love this. This is great. But can I just say this real quick? Let's not discount how good that match was. Nia and Naomi, man. And I know, like, you know, their family in real life. I know, obviously, it's going to kind of come natural that they have chemistry with each other. But this is the second time. And this match was actually better than the first match, which is saying something because I thought the first match a couple of weeks ago was actually pretty damn good. They actually did better in this match than they did the first match. This match was good. This was a damn good match. Nothing crazy. Just them going out there and just killing it. Had the crowd in the palm of their hands. I like how they start their matches off, Nia and Naomi, and it seems like they're gonna, like, you know, be a little bit discombobulated, like it's gonna be a bit of a clusterfuck. And then as the match starts to progress, it gets better and better and better. It's not just false finishes for the sake of false finishes. Like, they're actually going out there and they're just telling the story, man. It's something that even some of the male wrestlers can kind of learn a little bit as far as building up anticipation for matches. I don't know. When I watch their matches, it just kind of gives me that Ruthless Aggression era feeling as far as how they used to tell their stories in their matches. The way how they structure their matches is very Ruthless Aggression era. It's weird, but I love Naomi and Nia Jax matches. And once again, Nia Jax, I said it during my 2024 retrospective review, which you guys should definitely go check it out and put some hair on your balls. I said it then and I'll say it now. Nia Jax is the most improved wrestler of the year, and she keeps on improving. She keeps on going strong, man. She's really coming into her own, bro. She's really good. She's really good now. Probably arguably one of the best big man, big woman wrestlers currently going on in the industry, in my opinion. I mean, obviously you got people like Bronson Reed and stuff like that, but I'm kind of talking about, like, you know, pound for pound. She's really coming to her own, and they killed it tonight, man. Had a damn good match, a very good match. But that's not the story, right? Obviously that's not the story. The story is what happened after the match. So you had Tiffany Stratton, who wasn't next to Candice LeRae and Nia Jax when they were kind of going over what they wanted to do in the match. They were even questioning where was Tiffany Stratton because she wasn't backstage with them. Well, she made her presence known. She came out with a referee, pretending as if she was going to cash in during the match with Naomi versus Nia Jax, only to use it as a distraction, right? She brought a referee out, she pretended as if she was going to cash in, just to distract everybody, throw the referee over the barricade, and while the other referee was distracted with Candice LeRae, that's when she took her briefcase and hit Naomi in the head, which set up for the Banzai drop of the Annihilator for Nia Jax to pick up the win on Naomi. Little to everybody's attention or anyone's awareness, Tiffany Stratton had a plan. And I gotta say, this was somewhat complicated, but one of the most devious fucking cash-ins I think I've ever seen. So while Nia Jax is there celebrating on the top rope, Tiffany Stratton hits her with the briefcase. Candice LeRae walks in. The only thing I probably would have swatted out, she should have hit Candice with the briefcase first and then hit Nia Jax. Because Candice going over there going, what are you doing? But I'm not going to nitpick here. She hit Nia Jax with the briefcase while she was celebrating on the top rope, right? And then she threw Candice LeRae out of the ring and disposed of her, right? While she was outside the ring, Nia was kind of slumped over. Bianca Belair was out there with Nia Jax. While Nia was slumped over, she allowed Tiffany, that is, to let Bianca hit the KOD on Nia Jax. And then she pulled Bianca out of the ring and disposed of her, right? And while she was laid out, she cashed in her briefcase, went on the turnbuckle, and did the prettiest moonsault ever. And Tiffany Stratton is your new women's champion. Again, it was a bit convoluted, but at the same time, when you think about it, it made her character look really, really, really devious. That was smart. That was smart. Let Bianca Belair do all the hard work for you, just for you to kind of capitalize on it after you already did damage originally, after waiting for Nia Jax to kind of, get exhausted after a match with Naomi. It makes Nia Jax look tough as hell because it took Naomi, the match with her, to be exhausted. I mean, she wrestled Naomi for like legit, 2 commercial breaks? That match went on for like at least a good 20 minutes. Just for her to be exhausted, hit her with the briefcase, then get KOD'd, then take her prettiest moonsault ever. So Nia, she looks strong. It took all that for her to, drop her briefcase. On top of that, being distracted and not knowing that Tiffany was going to do that. On top of that, Candice LeRae disposed of, Naomi destroyed after the Annihilator, and then Bianca Belair doing all the hard work in order to be set up for Tiffany to do the prettiest moonsault. It was a very, very smart cash-in. Very, very devious. I like it. I like it a lot. Like I said, it can come off a bit convoluted, but at the same time, it was good. I liked everything about this segment. This is good. All of this was good. I liked everything about this, and congratulations to Tiffany Stratton. Now the question is, because I don't know, this is just me, I think they're gonna probably do Charlotte Flair returning at the Royal Rumble. Is this all to set up maybe Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania? We'll see as time goes on. I kind of thought they wanted to do the whole Nia Jax versus Charlotte Flair, Queen versus Queen deal, because Nia Jax is the queen in the ring. But I guess you can technically still do that on a random episode of Smackdown the next coming months without the need of a title, right? Because in the end of the day, it's just the Queen versus Queen title in the name in itself. It's not necessarily needing of the belt. So, I mean, I guess they could technically still do it without the World Championship. And honestly, it's not even one of those things. I don't mind seeing either match, because like I said, I've grown to love how Nia Jax wrestles in the ring. So honestly, I mean, if you would have asked me this like 4 or 5 years ago, then yeah, I would have been like Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair is something I would have preferred. And maybe I still technically kind of prefer it still, but at the same time though, it's like, if they did Nia versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, I wouldn't mind that also, but that's just me though. But congratulations to Tiffany Stratton. It's her first reign as the women's champion. We'll see how it goes as the months start to build up as we go into WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure they're going to do Nia and Tiffany maybe at the Rumble. We'll see. I don't know if they're going to want Nia in the Rumble in itself. We'll see as the months start going on, or I guess the weeks. But once again, congratulations to Tiffany Stratton, and honestly, congratulations to Nia Jax and Naomi, because that was a damn good match also. But now we get to the main event. Okay, we got Tribal, we got the OTC, well no, I guess it would be, I guess the OTC technically, taking on the current Bloodline. I guess it wouldn't be OTC. OTC is Roman, so I guess it'll be the original Bloodline versus the current Bloodline. So let's get to that, and let's get this night over with. Hopefully we get some news out of that main event also, because again, that was a damn good women's match. I like that. I liked everything about that segment. All that was fucking awesome. All right, so that does it for the main event, and I don't know, man, like this kind of gave me AEW vibes, like in the sense of the match in itself, you know what I mean? Like I like all the theatrics that go on before the match. I'm always going to be a big fan of the pomp and circumstances, right? Or the pomp and circumstances, excuse me. I love the theatrics. I love how the Usos and Sammy, they're coming through the crowd, and the crowd are doing the whole little yeet stuff, and you know, they're singing Jay's lyrics. That shit is mad hype. I love that shit. That's the only thing that differentiates itself between this and AEW and their typical main events. Now you're probably saying to yourself, what do I mean by, oh, this is very similar to AEW? I didn't really get the sense that there was any angle promotion coming out of this match. Now, you can say that they did all that stuff in the promo with Paul Heyman, but it would have been nice as far as maybe like a follow-up. I don't know, they could have showed Paul Heyman on the cell phone, maybe backstage talking to Roman. There should have been some kind of inclusion regarding Roman Reigns in this main event in some shape or form, you know what I mean? And I feel like we didn't get that. All we got was a really, really good match. And my thing is, if I'm going to hold AEW accountable, if I'm going to hold them to that standard, then the same thing has to be said about Smackdown, right? The same thing has to be said about this match. I don't mind good matches. I don't mind long, drawn out, kick out finishes, spammy moves, all the shit. I don't mind any of that stuff necessarily, as long as you have an angle that's attached to it. Now, kudos that one of their primary storylines happened to be the main event. That's another thing that differentiates itself from AEW. It's not some pointless fucking match in the main event just for the sake of having a pointless fucking match, because again, Tony Khan has his equity agenda in regards to professional wrestling that is completely ludicrous, that I fucking hate. Is that said, Triple H doesn't do this sometimes too, but it feels like Tony Khan does it all the time. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that you're building this up to one of your biggest shows of the year coming up this Monday, and you didn't give us an angle coming out of this. You didn't necessarily get us hyped up. I mean, at least, okay, maybe I'm not going to say everybody, but at least for me, I don't feel hyped necessarily going into Monday based off of the stuff I've seen tonight. Not to say that I'm not hyped about Monday, because I'm very curious as to how that match is going to play out. As a matter of fact, just the whole show in general. Roman, Solo, especially CM Punk and Seth Rollins, right? Those are two solid co-main event matches if that's what you're trying to plan it out to be. But man, it would have been nice to have an angle coming out of this. And this is my main problem with the Bloodline stuff, bruh. Like, it's too, like, when the Bloodline is good, it's really, really fucking good. But when it's bad, it's really, really noticeable, man. And they really haven't necessarily been hyped, at least for me. They haven't been hyped since, maybe 2 years now? Since the Royal Rumble last year? Now, you can argue the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns stuff if you want to include all that, but I don't know, this is just me. I give that all to The Rock, and maybe Cody also, but mainly The Rock. That wasn't a Bloodline angle, that was a Rock and Cody Rhodes angle, and Roman Reigns happened to be a wingman and all of that, right? I feel when the Bloodline as a standalone is out there in order to deliver, it hasn't delivered in a very, very long time. And like I said, it could be maybe because Roman Reigns isn't there that often. Maybe it could be because this whole Civil War Bloodline stuff, it's kind of ran its course. You already kind of had the finish. You did the story for the most part already at War Games. Is there any more to really get out of this? You can say Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa with the Tribal Chief stuff, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I'm just not really feeling it because Roman's not really here to promote the match as he should be promoting it. And if it's just going to keep going on like this, then man, hopefully whatever happens with Roman and Solo, this puts the kibosh on this whole fucking Tribal Chief stuff. This right here should be the kibosh on the whole Bloodline angle. But then that begs the question, what do you do with the Bloodline angle, right? Not necessarily the OGs, because the OGs are going to do their own thing. Jimmy's going to try to find a rival on SmackDown. Sammy's going to probably do his thing with Kevin going forward. At least that's what it looks like. And Jay's one of the most over people currently in WWE. It begs the question as to what are you going to do with the new Bloodline? Now, obviously, in my opinion, you look at someone like Jacob, he has a future. Solo, he's been doing too much work and he's too much into all this to not be the future. Maybe he takes a break if he inevitably loses to Roman Reigns and he comes back sometime towards Elimination Chamber to promote a match at WrestleMania for himself. I mean, I necessarily don't give a shit about the Guerrillas of Destiny. I'm sorry. I mean, I fuck with Tama Tonga and I like and I like how he carries himself, but at the same time, you know, hey man, dams the brakes. But whatever happens, this shit needs to end. Whether you bring Drew McIntyre into the picture and he fucks over Roman Reigns and this is how you want to promote for WrestleMania, maybe you want to do Drew versus Roman at WrestleMania, I don't know. But this needs to be the end. We have ran the course on the Bloodline angle. We have jumped the shark completely. There's nothing more to get out of this. It's to the point now that when you see them on television, it's like, damn, bro, I don't know what to... I hate to compare it to this because it seems like I'm being a little bit exaggeratory, but I don't know, man. It kind of feels like watching, this is no disrespect to him, but it kind of feels like watching like Rey Mysterio on television, where it's like, I don't know, like you have to be happy for him. You have to be happy for Rey because he's Rey Mysterio, not necessarily what he's going to actually, produce, whether that's an angle or whether that's in the ring. It's Rey Mysterio, so you have to be happy. When in reality, like right now, Rey Mysterio is boring as fuck, right? Just being real. Same thing can be said about a Chris Jericho. It's just like a legacy run right now, man. And my thing is, if Roman's not going to be there, if he's going to keep taking all these hiatuses because that's how his contract is stipulated, then this shit needs to end, man. Be done with this shit. Say what you want about Solo Sikoa. I know I had the whole little post in the community post talking about Jimmy and Solo and all this shit, but in reality, when you take everything and you wrap it all up, this shit is done, man. This shit is done. It's getting kind of boring now. It really is. Like, I see this main event, I see the stuff that happened with Paul and the promo with Solo, and it's like none of that shit necessarily got me hyped to really want to see what's gonna happen at Netflix. If anything, my concern going into Netflix is this really the conclusion with the Bloodline? It's draining everything right now, man. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Smackdown tonight, it was fine. It wasn't anything terrible. It did its job, I guess. But like, it's one of those things where it's like you review the show, you break it down, you note some things, but in reality, when you sit back and then you really try to gauge your enthusiasm, it's like, damn, I don't necessarily feel like enthusiastic. It kind of feels like you just did the show and it's like, yeah, it was all right. You did enough to pass, but you didn't do enough to really awe me or inspire me or do anything like that. And I was kind of hoping with this main event that we were going to get something of an angle, something happening, and it was just a good match. Just like AEW. It's a good match. And good matches is not enough. Maybe it might be enough for some of y'all in the audience, but it's not enough for me. Like I said, going into Monday, whatever happens, be done with this shit. Be done with this shit. The Bloodline has some good runs. Like, they have some awesome stories going back into 2022, going into 2023. Maybe, here and there, especially with the Paul Heyman angle over the summertime. But for the most part, bro, there's nothing else to do with this. There's nothing else. The new Bloodline ain't cutting it. And I'm sick and tired of the OG Bloodline, honestly. That's it. Let these dudes go their separate ways. Let them do their own thing and quietly end the story. You did what you could. You milked it for half a decade. That's it. End this shit. But with that being said, let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to SmackDown. I don't think I was harsh. I don't think I'm not saying anything that some of you guys deep down ain't thinking to yourself already. Like, bruh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, it just jumped the shark for me. That's how I just feel. I feel like everything just jumped the shark. I'm not saying anything outwardly negative for some of the fuck boys out there who are gonna be like, oh, just enjoy the product. I think I'm just saying anything and everything that people subconsciously are probably already thinking to themselves already. If for nothing else, I'll say this. Do you not want to see everybody else do their own thing? Do you not want to see the possibilities of some of the competitors involved in this and see what they can do going into WrestleMania? Do you want to see another Bloodline angle going into WrestleMania? Especially when it looks like The Rock might not even, from the looks of it, from the reports I'm seeing, it doesn't even look like The Rock might even be involved with WrestleMania. We'll see how it goes, but like, it doesn't even look that way right now with all the reports coming out, talking about they're going to call off Cody and Rock. If that's the case, then damn sure end this shit. But we'll see as how the months go on, going into WrestleMania, I guess, as everything goes. But let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces and a P. Ice.